Hey guys, this is Nick with EDC Mag, and today I want to talk about the Valence Knives Gamma. Before we get into that, I want to show you guys this. I've had questions about these number 9 coins that people see in pictures on IG and Facebook, or wherever else you see pictures. These are actually challenge coins, and these were based off of the show NCIS. Gibbs rules. His rule number 9 was never go anywhere without a knife, and he carried in the show on occasion a ZT 300 series. I think it was a 302. There's 300, 301, 302, 303. They're all very similar in the 300 series except the 350. But point is, rule number 9, never go anywhere without a knife. This was the original coin made by Noble Metal. He no longer makes them, but just something kind of cool to have. This one is currently made and currently available. It's a little bit larger. It's the same on both sides. It's made by Derek Carlson of DNA Lasering. You can find him on IG or Facebook. And I'm sorry guys, when I'm in these videos, if you see me shaking, I have 2 speeds: over caffeinated and sleep. So that's how I live. Anyway, in case you're curious, wasn't aware, there you go, rule number 9. Valence Knives. So Valence Knives is based in Seattle, Washington, and it's a one-man operation. The guy's name is Ilya Pasumansky, and he's a machinist by trade. He makes all kinds of cool stuff for different industries, and then as in his spare time he designs and makes knives. He makes a knife called the Sigma, which is just a super cool knife, somewhat similar in design to this, except the Sigma is a full-on custom, and the Gamma is a mid-tech. And I know I've talked before about my back and forth between custom and mid-tech, but I saw this knife a while back, and man, I love the design of the blade. I think it's really cool. I like how tall this blade is. The other great thing is it's made by We. Well, partially made by We, which is what makes it a mid-tech. We cuts all the pieces, send them back to Ilya. He does the final fit and assembly, and then he does the ano and all of that type of stuff. These things have ceramic caged bearings, ceramic detemp ball, and I've seen some guys in other reviews before I got mine talk about how heavy they are. I'm going to use this coin slip just because of the clip, the way the clip is. It's offset. Check that out. It's frame lock. I love this, the way this is cut out. Saves some weight. That's pretty cool. I think he offers an option to cut some weight out on this side too. Anyway, I've seen some guys talk about how heavy this is, so let's find out. I believe I saw on his website that it says 7 ounces. So let's give it a shot, see what we got. 6.7 ounces. So somewhere in there, yeah. And that's really light for a titanium M390 4-inch knife. So that's actually lighter than I thought. Very cool. All right. I really like this knife. I like the way it feels in hand. I love this design. I'm not a huge Tanto fan. Well, just depends. This one's got just a very slight recurve in it, which I like. While not quite, at least for me, as good as a thumb stud. I like having that thumb option. And there we go. Since this is made by We, the action on it is great. One thing I have noticed, the detent on it is really good, but if you help it sometimes, it will bounce. I mean, once it's seated, it's in there, but it has a tendency to bounce if you slam it shut, which not a big deal, but just something I've noticed. Not really something to bitch about. Okay, so a lot of We knives, they'll come in at 4 inches, and you're looking at specs, and you're like, hang on now, that's a 4-ounce knife. It's a 4-inch knife, but it's a 4-ounce knife. How does that work? Well, it's because they're not very tall. And so you're saving weight there, and you're getting your 4 inches. I think that, yeah, this is pretty sure 3.9, somewhere in there, 4 inch. But they're just not a tall blade. I think that's one of the reasons why I like this old 701 so much. It's because it was a tall design. I mean, there's a lot of blade there. And this was my first We back in the day, and I don't keep many knives, but I just haven't ever found a reason to get rid of this one. It's just it was one of their $100 liner locks, so not a bad deal. Come on, need more cats. So there we go. Let's check it against our old standard, the Kershaw 3.2, 4-inch. Give you an idea of the size difference. See if we can do that with that. All right. Well, it is what it is, but you get the idea. Now this thing is about retail $390. And he'll do a lot of other stuff to it, as far as ano, taking the middle out of this show side. Now, when I got this knife, this is not an issue with the knife itself. This was an issue with where I got it. And I've been going back and forth on this. This knife started life purple. I'm not a fan of, I like purple, just not on my knives. And I saw it on IG, and it was a company, and they modify knives. And so I reached out to them. It was in a video. I was like, hey, I've kind of been looking at those. And they're like, we haven't done anything to it yet. What do you want done? I'm like, what can you do? And they're like, we can do these things. It's like, okay, cool. So it was purple with the satin, full satin blade. Now these come two-tone. They come full satin. And the way they're two-toned is this part right here is black, the flat is satin, and up here is black. Well, this one was all satin. So what they told me they could do and offered to do was, what I wanted to do was have this black, the flat, and then leave this satin. The scale is pretty much exactly what I asked for. It turned out excellent. I wanted kind of a weather, kind of a battle-worn look to it. Bronze. So they did a light bronze under and a dark bronze over, and it turned out pretty good, I think, as far as the scale goes. Really what I wanted, but I wanted that contrast. Well, they came back to me and they said, well, look, we screwed this up. The lines aren't even. Are you sure you don't want this? Which is what they call a working finish. And I was like, no, I don't want that. I want what you told me you could do. And he said, all right, well, we'll fix it. So they reached back out to me a couple hours later, and he goes, well, we couldn't fix it, so I just Did it the way I told you I was going to do it. You can take it or leave it. Well, there isn't another one of these out there in this configuration. And so my thought process, while I was disappointed and I didn't want this finish on the blade, apparently this is kind of like their go-to finish. And it is done really well. If you like this finish, it's an excellent job. But it just wasn't what I wanted. And it wasn't what they told me they could do. And instead of coming back to me and going, well, we can't fix that, let's talk about options, he just decided to do whatever the hell he wanted. Now, granted, I hadn't given him any money yet, so they could have took this and just sold it on their own to somebody else, and I wouldn't have been out anything. But I really wanted to get my hands on one of these. I had my heart set on it. So I went ahead and took it the way it was. And I've been going back and forth when I've decided to do. I mean, I told these guys, I was like, you know, I want to buy this from you. I'm going to review it. And they were like, okay. You know, I don't know. I don't think they cared. Apparently they didn't care too much. I also didn't get a pouch with it. So that came with it. They accidentally sent that to someone else. I don't want to badmouth these guys because they're a physical shop and it's tough, I know, for knife stores, a lot of them, to survive. So while I'm not going to promote them, but I'm not going to give out their name either, because even though I was very unhappy with overall with their service, you know, we all have a bad day. So what are you going to do? As far as the knife itself, the function, the look, it's a super cool knife. Not the finish that I wanted. Again, that's somewhat on me and what I was willing to accept from the people that were customizing it. It's nothing against the knife or, you know, the knife itself. It's a beautiful knife. It's an amazing knife. There's just, from a functionality standpoint, there's nothing to complain about on this knife. This clip is deep. It carries really well. It's made by We. Great Tonto. And I would recommend it if you're into the style, if you're curious. You can't beat We quality. You just can't. And it's a beautiful knife. So there you go, guys. Get yourself a number 9 coin. Put it in your pocket. Everyone should have one. You can't have this one. But you can reach out to Derek Carlson, DNA Lasering, and he'll get you one. And they're really neat. Just kind of something cool to clink around in your pocket. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you got an idea here. Beautiful knife. Not that heavy. Not really. I don't think so. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We're just getting started and we're having a lot of fun. So until next time, have a great day.